Folks, back in the 1930s, an extraordinary engineer by the name of Ferdinand Porsche got together with a guy by the name of Adolf Rosenberger, and they created the Porsche dynasty. Here it is, we're out at Queensland Raceway, and we are here for the 50th anniversary of the foundation of the Porsche Club in Queensland. We've got some extraordinary machines on the racetrack out there. Come along for the ride with us. This is going to be one hell of a spin around the track. We're down here at Queensland Raceway, and I'm standing here next to Kevin, who is a man with a need for speed. He's got this most beautiful 911 GT3 Cup car behind us here. Kevin, tell us about the morning so far, mate. How's
Can I go back 24
Please
hours?
do.
I'll go back 24 hours. So 24 hours ago, we had 3 sprinting categories. We had a regularity. We did happy laps. We did passenger rides. We had a show and shine. So fast forward 24 hours, now the show and shine becomes a concourse, and you guys have probably already had a look at the amazing collection of cars that we've got out there, and it's going to be really interesting how the grading goes on that. We've had 3 sprint groups that already go out this morning, and the race cars went out for their first race. We had practice and qualifying yesterday.
Right.
We had our first race today, and it was really fantastic. It was good, clean racing,
Right.
and quick too. The track, we talk about the track being rubbered up, and yeah, it is, and it's got good grip out there. It's excellent, and the weather's fantastic. It's just perfect. No need for cool suits, any of that sort of stuff. Just a fantastic environment. It
Good
really
fun,
is.
and really good camaraderie too. You know.
Oh, we're all friends. Everyone in the race category are all great mates, and we've been racing a lot together. Also in what's called Prod Sports, which is a state series. So we'll race in that as well. So it's good. The R8 down there that is Jerry Murphy. He's normally in the GT3 Cup car as well. Unfortunately, didn't make it.
So he's an honorary today.
He's an honorary today, but he wasn't allowed to go out in the racing. But it would have been great if he could have been here, because he really would have added some quality to the.
We'll get him next time.
Just a quick shout out. Rob Beaumont, our social director, let us use his car. I don't know if you guys noticed. We used his car then as the pace car. We bolted on a set of safety lights, and we had young Jed Murphy was in that safety car. So thankfully, it was only needed as a pace car at the start of the race, and we didn't need it after that.
It did the job well.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to put it in.
We had to get him to grade it, and then quickly chuck the lights on it, and then get it out again. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Get those Bowden's products out and get it looking good again.
Yeah, exactly.
So tell me about your history with Porsche, Kevin.
I go back to 2012. I'd finally made the decision to, open up the wallet a little bit and buy myself at the time was a 997.2 Carrera S.
Right.
3 speeding tickets later, I thought, if I'm going to go faster than this thing, it needs to be on the track.
Sure.
And
let's get serious about it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, at least get serious, not about losing my license.
Yeah, that's right.
And so I joined the club, started doing some sprints. Wonderful bunch of people, really, really enjoyed it. But I realised pretty early on that I was the type of person. We use the expression in motorsport, the red mist descends.
Okay.
And when it descends, and the brain bucket is on, logic goes out the thing, and you'd start doing things that are not real smart.
Right.
And I knew I was one of them. And I knew it was just a matter of time before I binned my road car. So that's when I bought my first race car, and this is now my third. So
wow.
So that was my, and at some point in time, Bill Black, one of our life members, somehow managed to talk me into being the motorsport director, and that was 8 years ago. So about to hand over the baton, but yeah, no, it's been a fantastic ride.
So Kevin, if somebody out there, especially if they've got a bit of a Porsche bent and they've got that need for speed, they want to get involved in it.
Absolutely.
They don't have mega budget.
Absolutely.
What's your advice?
Okay, so we've actually quite deliberately set up like a dare I say it, a transition program. So you start off by what we call entree class, and as the name would suggest, it's a taste of motorsport. This is where you'll come to the track. You'll be assigned a mentor. They'll help you with getting your car ready to go out the track, help you with getting your licensing, all that sort of stuff. Get you out on the track. First couple of times, it's about showing you the track. No helmets, that sort of thing. Just learn the track.
Sure.
Then the brain buckets go on, and then
attention in the paddock.
Attention in the paddock. That's all right. We can keep going.
We go, and then you progress through that. So then the next step is what we call regularity, and this is where it's a speed event. So you're using your road car, but you're going at your pace, right? So it's not about going out and going as fast as you want. So we'll get. Yesterday we had the regularity. We had people sitting out there quite comfortably at the 140 mark, 150 mark, and very comfortable at that sort of speed. Then we graduate to the next level, which is the more prominent activity in Porsche Club, and that's sprinting, right? Okay. And then we've got three groups of sprinters here, and we grade them in their speed. And they basically, it's an out-and-out stock road car. We have to make a couple of changes to it to make it compliant for being on the track, with stickers, with tow hooks, all that sort of stuff.
Right.
Things you don't want to have to use, but anyway. And then those guys go out, and the idea there. It's almost like qualifying. You're out to put down a single fast lap, right? So they'll go out there for their 5 laps or whatever and try to one lap, really put it together. What most of them do is they'll go out for 5 laps and just try to go fast on all 5 laps, you know? And then, of course, from there we graduate to stupidity, which is when you
ludicrous speed.
Well, no, stupidity in terms of what it costs and everything else.
Okay, right.
So to put it into perspective, the rubber that's on a cup car is exactly the same rubber that you'll get on say a GT3.
Okay.
The difference is that's grooved, this isn't.
Right.
Right. But it's also a softer compound. So it's where a GT3 will get 20,000 Ks out of it. We're good with 250 kilometres.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So and basically the same money. So it's a very expensive ball, but it's a great. It's super rewarding for those that want to do it. We have a lot of fun, and it's just a great event. And incidentally, there's eight Porsche clubs in Australia.
Okay.
Right. We're the only ones that do racing.
Is that right?
Yeah. All the others do various forms of motorsport.
Welcome to Queensland.
Exactly. So, which is really
Well,
cool.
look, if you've got a hankering, if you love the marque, you love your Porsche, grab your car, come and join the club. You'll have a link to the club at the end of our show. Come and talk to Kevin. Get mentored. That's so important. Is just getting together with people who've been there and done it before, especially if you're new to it yourself. Come and join the club. They're a great bunch of people from all walks of life and all age groups, and beautiful cars, and top people to talk to. Thank you so much, Kevin.
Thank you.
Good on you,
Appreciate
mate.
it. Thank you very much.
Folks, we've met a lot of people in the time that we've been presenting Australian Car Collector to you who are really passionate about their cars and their lifestyle in the motoring community, but very few people are as passionate as Carissa is about her, probably one of her best friends, Maxwell, whom you're about to meet shortly, and the sport of motor racing. She's an up-and-coming star in that field. Mate, what got you into this in the first place?
I don't know if I can pinpoint one thing. I've always had cars and I've always been interested in cars.
Right.
I was drag racing, but then I blew up my gearbox and then just went, you know what, I don't know. Actually, what happened was when I blew my gearbox up, I was so sad. I've come here and had a look at an event one day.
Right.
And I was standing up the top up there and I thought, this looks fun. I don't know if I'm going to bother drag racing anymore. I might buy myself a little circuit racing car. So that's what I did. And I went to Adelaide and I bought Maxwell.
Right.
And just started from, I got a heap of coaching down at Norwell. And so I wanted to be as prepared as possible before I sort of got out there on the track with people.
Right.
So yeah, just spent a lot of time doing coaching and track days and any kind of activities like tarmac friendly sprints and rally days and just activities, all the tracks, anything that I could possibly go to. And then a mate of mine, Eric from Alien Tech, said, "What are you going to do next year? Are you going to waste another year practicing, or are you going to race?" And I was like, "Oh, right."
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
So, mate, you said you were drag racing at one stage. So what came before that?
Just little Volkswagen Beetles.
All right. So you got from Volkswagen Beetles into drag racing.
Yeah. I don't know. I had this crazy idea that I wanted like flat 4, a straight 6, a V8, and a rotary.
Right.
I had this.
So try all forms.
Yeah. So I got my 2 flat 4s. I had a straight 6, which I sold, my beautiful ute. I ended up getting a V8, but not just an ordinary V8.
Right.
This thing's a 540 big block.
Is that the Chevelle?
Yeah, that's the Chevelle.
Okay, quick plug, Spicy Chevelle, Instagram, check it out. Fantastic.
There's a lot of Maxwell, but yeah, you'll see the Chevelle as well.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, that was just I had no idea how I'd go with my first V8, let alone a big V8.
Right.
It's just been so easy. I have a lot of mechanical sympathy on the track and with my cars, so it's been just easy driving.
Fantastic, mate.
Driving her.
Well done. Well, look, from what I understand, you're getting more and more competitive, and your PB's getting better and better all the time too, which is great. So, what's driving you now? Where would you like to see this heading? What's the plan?
Well, currently I'm leading my class with Prod Sports.
Great stuff.
Yeah, so I'm really hoping that I win my series. After that, I don't know, like I've got to spend money on Maxwell, you know, and myself.
Sure.
So I've sort of thought, do I put the money I was going to spend on Maxwell towards another car and sell him? But then I had to wash my mouth out with soap. That was a terrible thought.
It dripped oil on the garage.
Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do is just utilise Maxwell for the next year of Prod Sports as well.
Great
and
stuff.
just really try and push, because it's such a good car for a beginner like myself.
Yeah.
Just so solid, and I
Well,
can't overdo it, I feel, you know.
the fact that he's out there in this company with the Queensland Porsche Club, and I believe they've invited you to come along
They
too.
did.
So they've seen a spark there as well, mate, between you and Maxwell. Obviously, you're looking great out there. Car looks fantastic.
Yeah, thanks.
Mate, look, in terms of women coming into this sport, obviously the past is male dominated, and women are really sort of starting to well, not starting, they've been for a while now, blazing a trail through there.
Yeah.
What's your advice, mate, to women who want to get into the sport?
I nearly swore. I was going to,
You can do that. That's all right.
No, stuff what anyone thinks.
Sure.
And just send it and go for it. If you've got a passion, I'm up against challenges all the time.
Sure.
I don't get respected. I don't get, actually this has been a really good event, but there has been a couple of things where, you know, I get cut in on, and I feel like I don't get taken seriously.
Right.
And this isn't just here. This is across the board, most motor events.
And that won't be just you either. That'd be other women who are
women.
Yeah, they're trying to do it.
Because they're like, what can a chick do? Like, she's going to be slow. She's going to be a hindrance. This is that thing, you know. She's just in an 86. You know, it's that kind of attitude. But then they see that I can keep up with the boys,
Sure.
and they kind of go, oh, okay. So
Fantastic.
I end up getting a bit of respect. But the advice that I'd give to other women is just get amongst it. Like, it shouldn't be just for men or boys, you know?
Yep.
If you're passionate about something, like, we love cars too.
Of course, of course.
And we love going fast. We are addicted to adrenaline. This is perfect.
Look, I just think it's the fact that the passion is coming through there, you're being competitive out there, and guys, get off their high horse, right? There are really, really talented
Yeah.
people out there, and they happen to be women. So I think it's fantastic, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
thank you so much for talking to us today
Oh, that's okay.
and being
that's
part
a
of this
pleasure.
whole event. It's just brilliant.
Yeah, I'm really honoured that I was invited here. Like, I really was. I'm obsessed with Porsches. I absolutely love them. And to be able to just come here, let alone race and compete with them, I was like, mind blown. It's like, yeah,
I'm with my people.
element.
Yeah.
I'm with my people. These are my people, the cars.
Great stuff.
Last night when I put Maxwell's pajamas on, I'm looking around at all these rare, amazing race Porsches, just going, I'm pitching myself. Like, this is amazing.
It is.
I love every
extraordinary.
minute of it.
Yeah. And well done to the Queensland Porsche Club to organise this
great
whole
event.
Great event.
Yeah.
Look, thank you so much for talking to us,
You're
mate. I really
welcome.
enjoyed it. And
Yeah.
go well with everything.
Thank you. Thank you
Cheers,
very
mate.
much. Thank you.
Folks, you know you've met a passionate person when you start talking to someone who not only races the cars, has a hand in putting them together, but also transports the cars. So this is something that you won't often see on a show about motorsport. It's the actual vehicle that gets them there in the first place. I'm here with Duncan. This is an impressive bit of kit, mate. Tell us about this extraordinary truck.
Well, yeah, it was actually a mate, Peter Jones, whose son Harry is doing really well in Carrera Cup and previous winner of Carrera Cup, and then PJ upgraded his truck, so we managed to grab this one because they're hard to get. A nice truck that transports the cars. There's a bit of a waiting list, and they take a long time to build. So yeah, happy to snaffle this one off PJ. But yeah,
it's fantastic. I mean, you see horse floats getting around carrying the GGs around. Let's have a look at this thing. This is extraordinary. Can you show us around, mate?
Certainly, yeah. So it fits two cars. It's sort of really just for two sort of sports cars or race cars. It's sort of limited a little bit with the height.
Okay.
And then some of the similar sized trucks can fit 3 cars in, but this layout allowed for some accommodation, which is nice to escape the heat if you're at the track and it's a warm day. So it's perfect setup for us.
So you've got one on the deck. You got one sitting up on the top.
Yep.
Can you carry many spares here?
Yeah, there's enough room on this main deck level to fit your tyre racks and the trolleys and the tools.
Yep.
It's if you had to start again, you'd look at an option to have a side opening door as well.
Right.
So then you can open a door of a modern car, especially with the newer road cars where it's an electronic handbrake then the car will automatically put the electronic handbrake, and then you've got to try to get it off with a stick.
Right.
But I mean it's pretty common for
necessity is
most
the
transporters.
mother of
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we've got the car accommodation here, and then we've got the driver accommodation up here. So double bunks, storage. We've got a little kitchenette, a fridge,
Shower.
shower, toilet. Home away
What
from
else do you
home.
need?
What else do you
You
need?
get in trouble with the missus, this is where you can come and hang out.
This is the dog box.
That's right.
I love it.
Yeah.
So tell me about your history with motor racing, Duncan. What bit you?
It's quite apt that we're here for the 50th anniversary of the Queensland Porsche Club, because it really was the Queensland Porsche Club that started it all for me. Dad was a Porsche guy, and I remember we grew up in Western Queensland, and Dad got an early sort of SC, and I was young, and at the time it was just the loudest, lowest thing that I'd ever been in as a 10-year-old, and it was amazing. But then early 20s, I bought my first Porsche road car, which was a 993, and then started doing some club days and met all of the same guys that are out here this weekend. or a lot of them that are still involved. And I think like so many other people, you know, you start off doing club days and track days, and then you get a faster road car, and then you get a early race car, and then it all just sort of snowballs.
It become addiction.
Unfortunately, it becomes expensive. But yeah, it certainly all started with the Porsche Club for me, and certainly a Porsche guy, and now I'm lucky enough to do some racing overseas with some Porsches, and
wow.
So it's nice to be here this weekend.
I
for
think
sure.
it's fantastic, mate, and it's such an obvious family. You know, the people out there, they've all got the same bug, but they've all got the same camaraderie with each other. And, I think that's just such a really uplifting thing.
I think the thing with Porsches too, and this club, it's like 50 cars will hit the track and 50 cars drive home. You know, they're just so reliable, and they drive some. They're built for this sort of stuff. And you go to I won't mention some other marques that I've been involved with clubs, and you know, half of them leave on tilt trays, which is good for Paul and Steve and some of the towies in town. But
sure.
But they're just great cars, and that's why they're so popular.
Super engineered.
Yeah.
Just super.
And whether it's a 65 911 or the latest GT3 RS, you know, they're just fun to drive.
There's something for everyone.
Yeah.
It's just, and what a great club.
Yeah,
what a great club.
Really good club.
So Duncan, tell me about the cars that you brought here today.
We've got the race cars, a 997 GT3R, which is the car is back in its Japanese championship winning livery, which is a really cool Japanese livery with a snow leopard sort of, or it's an endless livery, and endless liveries are really cool and got a lot of history in Japan. 997 GT3R, I like the last of the steel cars, last of the 4-litre Metzger engines. They only made 30 of them. It was the car also that Patrick Long famously was passed by Matt Campbell over the top of Bathurst, and that sort of launched Matt Campbell's career, because Patrick Long got on the radio and said some expletives about who is this young Aussie kid that just passed the factory works driver in the factory car. And I ran into Matt Campbell at Rensport last year when we were over there, and I told him I had that car, and he said, oh, it's one of my favourite cars, and told me a little bit more about that Patrick Long story, which is really cool. Other cars here today, we've got Alan Moffat's 934, which was originally Alan Hamilton's 934, one of only 30 cars again. Rare in that it's very original. You know, a lot of them got converted to 935s.
Right.
Alan Hamilton won the 76 Australian Sports Car Championship with it, and Moffat won the 1980 Sports Car Championship with it, with the 934.5 engine, which we've got as well, which was 600 horsepower.
Fantastic.
I remember talking to Alan about it sort of 15 years ago, and he was saying it's the only car that ever intimidated him, and he drove some amazing cars. So it's an early turbo sort of crazy. We got Jim Richards' 993 RSCS, which won the Australian GP Championship in '95, and he got second at Targa Taz to a Works rally car. And they banned Works rally cars at Targa after that year for that reason. And then Jim went on to win for the next, I don't know, whatever it was, 10 years. A lot. Just an amazing period of Targa too, you know, with Jim and Porsches. And then you talk to people about, oh, you know, Jim and Porsches, and it's like, well, he's already won 7 Bathurst before he jumped at a Porsche.
Sure.
So that, cool car. And then we've got a 992 GT3 RS, which is a few of here this weekend, and a 911R, a 991R, which is actually a really, really nice car and quite raw and, really nice drive. Yeah.
Well, mate, they're in safe and passionate hands.
Yes,
right?
certainly passionate. Try not to crash too often, or I spun the race car yesterday.
Well, good luck out there today, mate. We saw you going around before, and you were quick out there. It was very competitive.
It's all a bit of fun. I appreciate it.
I didn't see the grin, but I could feel it from where I was standing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you'd hope so, right? I'm pretty lucky to have more than one Porsche. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well done, mate.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Guys.
Well, mate, thank you for showing us your home away from home.
Yes.
I think it's just so beautifully put together, and I can see myself spending the rest of my life traveling around it. Yes. Thank you so much.
Cheers, guys. Yeah, good job.
Folks, in every club in Australia, you'll find hardworking individuals who sit behind the scenes, and it's quite often the half a dozen people who do 80% of the work. And I'm sure I'm standing next to one of those people who does an enormous amount of work. This is Rob from the Queensland Porsche Drivers Club, and we're standing in front of his beautiful Porsche. Mate, this is an extraordinary day here, and obviously a lot of organisation has gone into it. Tell us about your behind the scenes in all of this.
Well, we've had a lot of committee meetings, so it's not just me doing it all. There's a whole committee behind this weekend, and it's taken 12 months of planning and meeting after meeting, email after email to bring this weekend together.
That's amazing, mate. So 12 months, you said?
At least 12 months.
Wow, okay. And how far afield have people come to be here, do you know?
Well, there's people from Toowoomba, Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast, Noosa.
Wow. And we were talking to Kevin before, and he said this is one of the few clubs around where they actually put on such events in terms of Porsche throughout Australia. Mate, an amazing eclectic collection of cars here too. There's some beautiful machines.
Yes, we had a great selection turn up today. A lot of the older cars, which is great to see, right through to the current series and models. And we also had the EVs turn up, which were Porsche Australia wanted us to put forward the EV vehicles, which is the Taycans, which I have on display.
Have you driven one of them?
I've not driven one. I've been behind one, and the takeoff is incredible.
Really? So, Rob, tell me about your history with Porsche, mate. Where did this start for you?
My Porsche started when I was obviously 10 years old.
Right.
And a lifelong love of Porsche. Then down the track, my father-in-law asked me, should he buy a twin-turbo Ford Laser or a 1970s Porsche?
And you said?
And I went to slap him around the ears and say, wake up, and said, of course you get a Porsche, not some new Ford Laser Turbo.
Yeah.
So he obviously got a 1974 SC, and then graduated to a 930, which someone in our club owns now when he retired.
And this is yours?
This was mine. I only got that a few years ago, about 4.5 years ago, and come across that by coincidence. I was just flicking through the pages as we do, and convinced my wife that now's the time for me to get my car, and the price was right. And
yeah, okay.
I'm very happy that I got it.
Fantastic, mate. So, is that number one for you, or have you had a few
number
before
one?
This one? This is your first.
My one and only.
Well, it's a very stylish dip of the toe into the waters, mate. It's beautiful. So, tell us about the members that are in the club and the vehicles that they bring through here.
There's like a wide variety of members in the club, and we've got the purists that want to strip their cars right back to the bare bones and spend the next 5 or 6 years rebuilding their car back to original specifications. And then we've got the people that just want to have their cars as a showcase and not drive very much. And then there's members like myself who have got a car and we just want to enjoy it as much as we can and go to all the cars and coffee.
Yep. Well, it's a marvellous way to get around for a start. They say life is about the journey, not about the destination, and there's perhaps no better way to be part of that journey. In terms of the club days that the club organises, so you mentioned cars and coffee. We obviously have show and shines and concourse such as we have here today. What other sorts of things can people who join the club be, involved in?
Well, coming up in the next few weeks, we're going on a club picnic up called Wildlife Rescue Queensland.
Oh, really?
And we'll go to their facility and we're going to feed all the small animals, possums, kangaroos, all the wildlife that they pick up off the roadside, bring back to health and rehome. We'll have a picnic there and we'll do a drive out to their house beforehand.
Fantastic, mate. So whereabouts is that?
That'll be at Marina in Caboolture.
Okay, excellent.
And we've got Oktoberfest coming up in obviously October as well, which we're going to the Austrian club down at Eleonora, and they love us coming down for a lot of fun and games and a nice German meal.
Fantastic. Well, it's in keeping with the origins of the car, so that's brilliant. So, Rob, in terms of the membership, how many members have you got in the club now?
Well, Tula here would know exactly our membership number, but I think it's well over 550.
Is that right? Wow, that's
With
extraordinary.
our partners. Obviously, partners almost doubles it.
Yeah, sure. Mate, that's marvellous. And do you find that there's much young blood coming into the club now?
There is starting to come through. It's always good to get more younger people involved.
Right.
Sometimes I think we're just a bunch of old guys having fun, but bringing the young guys in is great.
Yeah, for sure. So if people are interested in becoming part of the club or finding out more information, mate, what's the best way for them to do that?
The best way is to go to our club website,
Right.
Porsche Club Queensland, and it'll have all the details of our upcoming events, and then you can sign up for a membership there, and then you'll be included in our weekly newsletters to find out what all the upcoming events are.
Well, look, Rob, everyone we've spoken to today and everyone we've met, and in most cases, for me, for the first time, have just been really down to earth, very genuine. They're passionate about their cars, but they're really, I think, too genuinely passionate about just enjoying each other's company and having a great time. So, mate, I'd say well done on the presentation today. It's great. The Motorsport has been extraordinary.
Yes.
And what a great venue and a beautiful day.
It is, and I thank the committee that's all involved, because they're the big driving force behind
They're
the days
push
like
behind
this.
it. Well, they've done a brilliant job. I think it's paid off really well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, mate. No worries. Good on you. Folks, we've had an absolute ball out here at Queensland Raceway today. It's been said already today that these cars, these Porsches, they get out there, they race, and for the most part, they don't break down. These are really, really well-engineered cars and very, very reliable. And I mean, race cars are really pushed to their limit. These guys, as you can see today, they haven't held back. And these amazing motor vehicles just keep on going. We'd like to thank so much the Queensland Porsche Club. We'd love to thank Queensland Raceway. We've really enjoyed bringing you this episode today. Look, if you like what we do, please like and subscribe. Feel free to leave whatever comments you'd like there. We will always reply to your comments. Thanks for watching this episode today, and we look forward to seeing you out there on the road.